From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
Now at noon, the search for a suspect is on after a stabbing attack on the east side. We'll show you what we know so far about what went down. Indiana is #1, but it's not in a category it wants to be in. The new report that shows Hoosiers ahead of everyone else in the country in COVID-19 cases. But first, here this midday, we want to thank you for joining our team here on WRTV. I'm Lauren Casey with Alyssa Donovan in for Todd Clausen today, and we're taking a look at today's forecast. Alyssa, it was a chilly start, but what can people expect as they head out the door of their lunch hour?
You know what? It's still pretty chilly out, Lauren. Temperatures are a little bit below average right now, and you can see behind me on our skyline that it is just a gloomy day. We are socked in with this cloud coverage. That's all from this disturbance that moved in from the northwest earlier today. That's going to continue to bring us plenty of cloud coverage throughout our day. We could see that break up a little bit as we head into the afternoon, maybe a few peaks of sunshine in there, but for the most part, clouds are going to be the rule for your Monday afternoon. Looking at our temperatures right now, 34 degrees right now in Indianapolis, but it doesn't feel that way, and that is because of those northwesterly winds that we have. We're about 10 miles per hour right now with those winds in Indianapolis, so that wind chill is making it feel a little bit more like we're still in the 20s. So when you step outside, you'll notice that chill in the air. Feels like 26 degrees in Indianapolis right now, and we are going to hit our coldest high today in the 7-day forecast of 38, but the good news is much warmer temperatures. We're into the 50s in the 7-day forecast. All of those details coming up.
Alyssa, thank you. New this midday, Metro Police are investigating after 3 people were stabbed during some sort of attack on the east side of Indianapolis. Officers were called just before 10 this morning to an area near North Arsenal Avenue and Marlowe Avenue. That's where the victims were found. Police tell us 2 of them were taken to a hospital in critical condition, while the other victim was listed as stable. So far, police have not told us anything about those victims or what may have led to the stabbings. We do have a crew working on this story, and we'll have more information for you just as soon as it comes in at WRTV.com. For the second time in 4 days, a fire has damaged a West Side apartment complex. This started just before 4:30 this morning at a complex on North Traub Avenue. That's near West Washington Street and Belmont Avenue. You can see here flames coming from the top of that apartment building. The opposite end of the same building caught fire this past Thursday, December 3rd. Investigators say a 74-year-old man died over the weekend from injuries caused by that fire. The man is the city's 8th fire death so far this year. The cause of both fires is under investigation. The number of Hoosiers impacted by the coronavirus pandemic continues to be high. Let's take a look at the very latest numbers in from the state health department. Today, 5,700 new cases of COVID-19 were reported. The last time the state was below the 5,000 case mark in a single day was back on November 28th. That was the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We can tell you that 42 additional deaths were also reported today, and that brings the state to 5,986 since the start of the pandemic. And after falling for most of the week, COVID-19 hospitalizations are up slightly today. Indiana hospitals are now treating 3,214 patients with COVID-19. A new report says Indiana had the worst coronavirus infection rate in the entire country last week. The COVID tracking project says Indiana was the only state to record more than 1,000 new COVID-19 cases per 1 million people. Indiana had 1,025 new cases per million people for the week of November 30th through December 6th. That puts us ahead of South Dakota, Nebraska, Utah, and Minnesota. In the last week alone, the U.S. has reported more than 1.3 million cases of COVID-19. That's more than any other week on record so far. It comes as the country inches closer to a vaccine being available. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
COVID-19 is ravaging U.S. communities coast to coast. ICU capacities in Southern California critically low, and now more than 33 million people there from L.A. to the Bay Area are under strict new lockdowns, businesses shut down, and retail capacity limited.
To shut us down with almost no notice before the holidays, with no funding, no way of surviving it, is cruel.
The U.S. averaging a staggering 186,000 new cases a day, hospitals reaching a breaking point.
I'm running out of nurses. You can have a huge hospital, but if you don't have the manpower, I cannot save your life.
President Trump's personal attorney and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani is the latest in Trump's inner circle to test positive for the virus. Giuliani meeting indoors with state lawmakers, never seen with a mask on during public appearances, even as top health officials in the Trump administration have been urging Americans to wear face coverings.
It's really concerning to me that we still have people out there who don't understand how much spread is occurring by people who don't have symptoms. And we need you to hang on just a little bit longer because we've got vaccines coming.
This week is pivotal in the race for a vaccine. Pfizer's vaccine could be granted emergency use authorization soon after Thursday's FDA hearing, and states are getting ready to distribute it. Pfizer's vaccine has already been authorized for use in the UK, with vaccinations expected to begin there tomorrow. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Today, we are expecting new information about the state of the restaurant and hospitality industry here in Indiana. The president of the Restaurant and Lodging Association says sales and foot traffic are down at restaurants and it's only getting worse. That's why the association is launching a new campaign called Dine Safe December. It's a reminder of everything restaurants are doing as they're committed to the Hoosier hospitality promise.
We've removed seating, we removed tables, we've done those things. We can't see people at bar tops in some communities. Which matters because of those additional seats. People are not going out late in the evenings. We don't see that type of business. We also see zero convention business. We see zero sports business, and also central business districts throughout the entire state of Indiana, and frankly, throughout the entire country and world, are been absolutely decimated because people are not going to their offices. So we don't see that typical business travel. We don't see that typical business dinner, lunch, breakfast, or anything of that matter.
Well, the association's new campaign hopes to encourage people to find ways to support local restaurants. Local businesses, we know they're depending on holiday shopping, especially this year. Next, we'll take a look at how one city is helping small businesses close the digital divide to help them keep online shoppers from looking elsewhere. Alyssa.
And it is a chilly start to our work week. Temperatures are in the 30s right now. Feels a lot more like the 20s when you step outside, but we are climbing way up in the 7-day forecast into the 50s later this week. I'll break down all the details coming up.
Well, with holiday shopping season underway, you may be among those who are turning to online shopping in order to stay safe. Usually that's not good news for local small businesses, but our Troy Washington tells us that one town has a new program that could be a lifeline for Hoosier business owners this season.
Local businesses aren't waiting around for the pandemic to end. In fact, some places are thinking ahead.
Certainly got other Chamber of Commerces and cities locally that have expressed interest in this.
Jason Fordham is the man behind launching Zionville's new contactless commerce site.
Perfect, the company that I founded, goes back a couple years, and from that time period, we have been looking for how can we adapt brick and mortar retail for really what's been demanded even before the pandemic.
He says the pandemic may have pushed things along, but moving local commerce online has been in the works.
I think there's an opportunity for us to be able to create something that not only provides value now amidst a pandemic, but also into the future, because even once we get past this, you still have, as a small business, to compete with Amazons, with Walmarts, all these other marketplaces.
Here's how it works. Shoppers, especially those looking for holiday deals, can go to the Chamber's website where they are able to type in exactly what they're looking for in the search bar, and it shows them which local stores can help.
If we can make commerce that is local commerce easier, more people are going to use it.
And this way of connecting local businesses can catch on since business owners are looking for ways to keep business booming.
March and April were hard. You know, it was a lot of unknown. It was a lot of what decisions do I make?
The end goal remains the same, to find new ways to support local.
People are doing what's needed in order to keep their businesses going. And this year, we are trying to do as a chamber what's necessary to support those businesses' needs to make sure that they are around after this is all over. And because almost 70% of every dollar that comes into a small business stays local.
Working for you, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. The site is growing every day. Right now, there are more than 15 businesses on the Zionsville Marketplace site. And WRTV is helping you find places where you can shop local and keep your dollars right here in central Indiana. We have a list of local small businesses offering all kinds of different products and services on our website. Just visit WRTV.com. Well, he was a beloved part of the Indianapolis music scene for decades. Next, how he gave so much to the city he loved and the enormous legacy he leaves behind. Let's take a live look outside right now. This is our tower camera view to the west. Alyssa Donovan is here to break down our forecast for our Monday and look ahead to the rest of your work week. That's coming up when the news at noon continues right here on WRTV.
Indiana Jones. If you ran into Ron Miner on the street, you didn't know who he was, and then somebody told you, your first reaction might be, this is one of the best DJs ever in Indy? You bet he was, and he was a lot more. From Melody Skateland, which his family owned and where Ron spun the turntables for the very first time, to Ben Davis High School and IUPUI, to the Big Apple, where Ron truly became DJ Indiana Jones. He was the pal there of future star Mark Ronson, and while he was in New York, he was never ashamed to say that he was reppin' Naptown. Then, Ron Miner came back home, and hip-hop in Naptown became a thing. A chunk of that was a group managed and produced by Ron Miner. The group longtime entertainment journalist Dave Lindquist called the best hip-hop group the state has ever seen, the Mud Kids.
We got the O-line to keep your blitzes away. To get to number 18, it takes a week of just Saturdays.
Ron also kept the DJ part of DJ Indiana Jones going strong, grooving with Reggae Revolution, the weekly jam at the Casbah in Broad Ripple, the club Ron would make his own a couple decades later. In the meantime and in between time, Ron would jam with his crew at Crush Entertainment, with our partners at Radio 1.
How you doing? It's your man DJ Indiana Jones, Radio Now 100.9, and I'm urging you to vote. Get out and vote.
Ron Miner would teach inside his own classroom at the Wheels of Steel and in the actual classroom.
He talked to the students about his life and where he grew up, because he grew up for a lot of our students. He grew up in the same neighborhoods that they did. I mean, he went through his entire background and really brought it around to the students to just always be true to yourself.
Ron Miner was an advocate. He would give prodigiously to the city he loved through his 12 DJs of Christmas event, through his activism for what he passionately believed. Ron Miner would promote, whether it was hip-hop or the city of Indianapolis. If there was a beat and some bass, the DJ was in the house. That's why no one was ready for the news from this weekend. We were not ready for Ron Miner to say goodbye to us. There were more records to be spun, more shows to push when the pandemic finally let up, more stars to help make. Now the faders are still, the scratch is silent. And though there are incredible DJs and enormous hip-hop talent in this city, there's also a void that no one will be able to fill. DJ Indiana Jones, Ron Miner, the man who helped take the nap out of Naptown. Ray Steele, WRTV.
Ray, thank you. And we also want to thank everyone who came out to the Simon Malls over the weekend to help out with our 20th WRTV Toy Drive. Thanks to you, we were able to fill several boxes full of toys despite the changes we had to make to account for this pandemic. The Toy Drive means so much this year for many families and organizations who need help making the holiday season bright for thousands of kids across our state. And it was the first year that we partnered with Simon Malls to collect new toys for the big drive.
We want to be closer to our communities. We want to be out in the community safely, giving you more options on how to donate. This is the first year we've ever been able to collect donations online. So go to WRTV.com/Toy Drive and click Donate Here.
Well, if you couldn't make it out this weekend, you can still donate toys. Just bring new unwrapped toys to one of the 17 used store facilities across the area. And for the first time this year, you can text WRTV to the number 345-345. That'll help you make a financial donation. The WRTV Toy Drive ends on December 11th, and we have everything you need to know right now on our website, WRTV.com/Toy Drive. And I was out at the Greenwood Park Mall, Alyssa, with Kyle Mounts and Rafael Sanchez. And it was cold, but it was dry. So a little bit of sunshine can go a long way.
And that's right. And that chill has stuck with us Sunday and into today. It's going to stick around a little longer. The good news is it's going to continue to be dry for the next several days. We do have temperatures climbing after today and tomorrow. We're going to be into the 50s as we head into the weekend. However, the weekend also brings a chance of showers to the forecast. Right now in Indianapolis, 34 degrees, but it feels like 26. And you can see on our Weather Now cam that we have just those cloudy skies, a blanket of clouds socked in over Indiana. And that is due to this system that moved through earlier today that brought us just a lot of cloud coverage from the north, also bringing us this northerly wind. And we're going to continue to see that cloud coverage into the afternoon. Looks like we could see some of those clouds break up a little bit later today, which means maybe some sunshine, which could help us warm up a couple degrees. It's very cold outside right now, and that is due to that cool air that's moved in from the north. Overnight tonight, we'll see clear skies again, which means we'll really drop down once again with those temperatures. So by tomorrow morning, we're starting in the 20s. So you're definitely going to want to bundle up those kids as they head out to the bus stop, or just put on your warm coat if you're heading out to walk the dog tomorrow morning. What's going on is that chilly air is just over Indiana right now, and that's going to start to scoot out as we head into the afternoon on Tuesday. So we'll see those highs climbing into the low 40s tomorrow, just a smidge warmer than what we're seeing today. And next we have this ridge of mild air from the southwest. That's going to start to move into Indianapolis on Wednesday, and what that's going to do is bring us some warmer and more moist air. So we are going to see those temperatures climbing a little bit each day this week. So today's the coldest day at 38 degrees. Tomorrow 41, which is near average for this time of year. 50 by Wednesday, so we do warm up very quickly suddenly. And then 52 on Thursday. By Friday afternoon and evening, that's when we have this system moving in from the south. That's going to bring us a lot of moisture and also the potential of some showers as we head into Friday night and into Saturday. So we have a little bit of a roller coaster when it comes to the forecast this week. Today, though, you'll definitely notice that chill when you step outside. Our high is going to be right around 38. It's going to feel more like the 20s, though, for most of the day, and mostly cloudy skies throughout. Temperatures will climb a little bit each day. Our warmest day on Friday, 54 for the high. That's when spot showers move in the afternoon and evening as well.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Well, it went from awkward to inspiring. Next, we'll show you how a fan-filled sudden silence before a basketball game, and how he's now going viral for that. You're watching the news at noon right here on WRTV. Stick around. NFL's Week 13 continues tonight right here on WRTV. It's the Buffalo Bills taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The game is being played at the Cardinals Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. That's because of the new COVID-19 protocols shutting down most activity in the state of California. Live coverage of tonight's game starts at 8 p.m. Again, right here on WRTV.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, Trenton Brown was not planning on singing the national anthem before that high school basketball game between Waverly and Portsmouth West in Ohio. But after the announcer asked the crowd to stand for the Star-Spangled Banner, there was silence, the sound system apparently experiencing technical difficulties. After a few awkward minutes, out of the crowd came Trenton Brown's soaring voice there. He says he sang impromptu at the urging of his wife. Another parent caught this performance on video, and now this video has been seen more than 1 million times on Facebook. That's a pretty cool moment there, Alyssa.
He's so good.
I know. I was going to say, you would not want to hear me trying to belt that out.
Yeah, this would be a totally different video if you didn't sing it really good.
Video, yeah.
That's a cool video. It's going to be cold today. If you haven't stepped outside yet, definitely bundle up as you do. Highs today only in the upper 30s. We're in the low 30s right now, but it feels a lot more like the 20s because of the wind chill. Overnight tonight, dropping into the 20s again, and then we'll warm up into the 50s by the weekend.
Alyssa, thank you, and thank you for joining us and making WRTV your choice for news. Come back tonight and join us for the news at 5. Have a great Monday afternoon.